with that, everybody, we welcome you in to President Dr. Iwanenko's office for a very special conversation with our new Director of Athletics, effective in June. Meghan Morphy, who was introduced yesterday, is joining us for a one-on-one conversation, a bit of a sit-down fireside chat. The fire's not going quite yet, but if it stays this way, cold weather in Erie, we might have to get there at some point. And stay tuned, by the way, as well. We have another special announcement coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Thanks again to everyone here for being with us. You know, Meghan, you mentioned in your speech when you started that you remember back to the first time you ever were offered a job at Gannon, and you've been through the coaching ranks here, you've been through athletic administration. Can you take me back to that moment, and if you ever envisioned what your career has transpired here to at Gannon, and kind of what you were thinking back then, and how has it how have you thought and reflected on that to where you are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as I reflect back on my past 12 years here at Gannon, I don't know that I ever could have imagined at that point in time, when I first stepped foot on campus, sitting in this seat now, you know, when I came and I interviewed for our head competitive cheer position, I was so looking forward to the opportunity to start a new sport program and being on campus and meeting the people here. I was just really taken by the investment in athletics and athletics for women specifically, and this strong sense of community here. I felt so welcome, and I felt a real excitement from the campus community about the possibility of adding the sport. So that was just so meaningful to me and really pulled me here at that point in time. I was not familiar with Erie. I'm from upstate New York. I had been living in Philadelphia up until that point. So I didn't know a soul here. But it just really felt like a great fit for me. And I, as I said yesterday, I just knew that this was somewhere I needed to be in, an experience that I really wanted to have. So coming onto campus and starting that program was such an incredible opportunity, and one that was so meaningful in my life. To this next step and this next opportunity.
It's amazing how time just flies between,
Yes.
of course, you know, you think about you growing, whether it's your professional career, your family career, and of course, 12 years goes by in a flash. I mean,
Yes.
you know, we know how crazy that is, but you mentioned how you didn't really know Gannon when you got here. And I think the term Gannon family gets tossed around a lot at this university, and with good reason. There is something about this place that is just different than what you typically see on a normal campus setting. Can you take me through just what that Gannon family has meant to you? And, you know, I know we're going to talk about your mentors and people that you've really looked up to on this campus for quite some time, but what does that phrase Gannon family mean to you, just in terms of the importance of what it's brought to your career and now your time opportunity here to take the position of athletic director?
Absolutely. Again, that sense of community, you can feel it as soon as you walk on campus, and you can feel that support, and you can feel that it's genuine and authentic from the people around. So, you know, yesterday and continuing in today, I've gotten so many messages from people on this campus and in the community who have been so supportive and so excited for me. And it's always great to feel that from people. And I felt that at multiple points throughout my career here as I've moved from coaching into the administrative roles, which has just been amazing. And on a personal level, the Gannon family has become, you know, my actual family as well. My husband's an alum. He works here at the university as well. He's one of our former coaches. Now he works over in academics in the School of Communication and the Arts. But he's, you know, he was born and raised here. Gannon is a huge part of his life and who he is. And it's become a huge part of our life as well. So throughout my 12 years here, I've, you know, grown professionally, but the Gannon family has really become integrated with our own family life as well. And it's such a key part of who we are and how we spend our time that it's a really incredible feeling to be able to bring those two parts of your life together in such an authentic and meaningful way.
And we see just the excitement and the smiles on your family's faces when you were there yesterday. We saw the full room in the ballroom when you were announced yesterday. And again, the Gannon family extends not just, you know, from a blood family, but from an athletics family, from a university family as well, which is really, really neat to see. You have been a part of this athletics lot of ways set the standard in Division II athletics for the success that this program has had. Of course, 2 of the last 3 Dixon trophies, currently first in the current standings. We see now we're sitting in the top 15 in the Learfield Directors Cup standings. And you've had an opportunity to work hand in hand for a long time now with Lisa Goddard-McGurk, who has really set the standard here at Gannon University. What are some of the things that you've been able to learn from her, and just some of the trajectories that you've seen take off from this athletic program that is something that you'll try to continue with, and some of those keys to success maybe that you've learned in your time working with Lisa?
Absolutely. I think anyone who knows Lisa knows that she's had an incredible vision for our athletics department since the day she's arrived on campus. And I've been really fortunate to work through that with her, both as a coach and now as an administrator. And she has been wonderful in, giving me the opportunities to really walk alongside her. I think our department has seen Lisa and I really working hand in hand over the past several years to really focus on those building blocks. And that, I would say, is one of the greatest things I've learned from Lisa, is just focus on those small steps, focus on those building blocks, keep focusing on getting just a little bit better. I think our whole department has really embraced that approach and is really bought into that. It's become part of who we are and the fabric of who we are as a department. So I see that in our coaches. I see our coaches really invested in each other and in each other's successes. It's great to have that support. And I think we as a department have been supportive of each other for quite some time, but there's been a very noticeable shift. There's a difference between support and investment. And I see that genuine investment from all of our coaches in each other and in our colleagues and how incredible they are. I mean, some of these coaches I've worked with since day one here, and I have learned so much from Lisa, of course, but also from my relationships with all of them. And I was so appreciative and humbled to see all of them yesterday at the announcement and to have their support and to feel their excitement for me as well. They are also part of my family, and I just appreciate them so much. And I know that they are at the core of the success that we have experienced over the last several years.
Are there any words of wisdom that Lisa has shared with you? I'm sure there's been a lot over the course of the time you've worked together, but just any sort of words of wisdom that she's given to you recently in taking this all in? Because I think one of the things that maybe goes under the radar, certainly not for you because you're taking this in, but is just the sheer volume of everything that has gone on, whether it be the end of the spring season, the success that we've had there. Of course, every single year we have great success, but just all the events that we've had and things like that. And now you get into June and you take this role as athletic director. What are some of the things that maybe Lisa has told you or imparting words of wisdom that you've been able to hear that might be helpful for you moving forward here?
Well, I think Lisa and I are trying to live in the space that we're in right now. We've worked together for so long that, it's going to be a difficult transition for both of us. I spend maybe more time with Lisa than my own family much of the year. So it's going to be, I'm sure she would say the same. It's going to be a big transition for both of us. But I think the biggest thing that Lisa has said to me in the past and that we've talked about, over the last week or so, 2 things. One, I think, is just stay true to the vision, stay true to the mission, stay true to our why and what we are doing here. I think anytime you start to struggle with a decision or feel overwhelmed, when you get back to that, it all becomes much more clear. And I think Lisa's great at that. It's advice she's given me many times throughout the years, and it's advice that I will always keep close to heart. So I would say that's the first part, the first sort of like piece of advice and the things that we've talked about. And I'd say the second, we've all heard this from Lisa, but, she tells me, be confident, you got this, and she's given that message to all of us. She's an incredible leader. She's an incredible motivator. And she is so good because she empowers people to be successful in where they are and also where they want to be next. She does that for our coaches. She's done that for all of us. And so I think she's really reminded me over the past several weeks to just be confident, know that we've got this as a team and that she'll always be in our corner. So we're trying to hold off on too many formal goodbyes for now. I don't know that either of us are ready for that. I'm sure our entire department feels the same. But that's been really helpful and really meant a lot to me over the years and recently.
And luckily, we still have a few weeks left with Lisa to be able to celebrate, which is a really wonderful and really nice thing. We've talked about the Gannon family and how that part makes Gannon stand out from amongst the other universities. But when you look at just across the nation, and the fluctuation of universities succeeding, universities failing is all over the place. What do you think are some of the things that, from your experience, helps Gannon and Gannon Athletics just stand out from amongst the other universities and what we've been able to build here with our athletic programs?
I think the investment in athletics as a truly transformative opportunity at the very highest level is so evident here. So that support is across the entire campus. It goes all the way up to the president, the board. We have a community that is just so excited and so supportive of our student athletes that is absolutely critical to the success of a department. And we've been so fortunate to experience that since my time here. So that's been huge. And I think, as I said yesterday, our coaches and our student athletes are just exceptional. I can't say enough good things about them. We have some of the best and brightest student athletes in the country. Our academic programs are strong. Our academic focus on service learning is incredible. So all of those pieces together, combined with that support, all the way up to the top on our campus and across the entire campus and greater community, is just incredibly impactful and really sets the foundation for our coaches and our student athletes to focus on what they do best. And that's win games and win in the classroom and really have high impact on our community.
Can I ask you, is there a favorite memory that you have from Gannon Athletics? It can be whether it's coaching, your time in athletic administration. I know you have a lot to choose from, but when you look at just all of the things that you've been able to witness and be a part of, do you have one of those moments that you can look back on right now and say, yeah, that one sticks out in my head amongst all the other ones?
Oh my goodness. That's a tough question. I would say coaching, my last season coaching, I knew that it would be my last. It was our first year adding competitive dance. We had 3 competitive cheer programs. We had incredible finishes at the national championship that year. However, we, on the last day, our dance program was taking the stage for the first time in championship, in finals, and we had an amazing cheering section. We had so many friends, fans, family members, other student athletes, and one of the student athletes said when she walked out on the stage and everyone was chanting GU, GU, that it was just this incredible feeling that she would never forget. And I think that sense of community and having that sort of presence there from a coaching perspective was just amazing. And I think administratively, the first year that we won the Dixon Cup and seeing that moment of like, we finally achieved this pinnacle that we've been reaching for, I'll never forget that. That was absolutely amazing for our department and so hard earned and well deserved by all of our coaches and student athletes.
Yeah. And this is something that, again, is you look at the Dixon Trophy and it's just been such a special semblance of how important it has been to get to see this athletic program rise. And Meghan, it's wonderful to get to have you be a part of this and be in such an incredible and important role. And we know that the athletic department is not going to miss a beat at all. So we're excited to see what you do next in taking the program to greater heights. And appreciate you taking a few minutes with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Fire, again, hasn't been lit yet, but it will be soon.
Working on it.
In just a second, we're working on it. Meghan, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, one of the things that Meghan was talking about in our conversation, it was the Dixon Trophy. And of course, one of the things that we have been able to see in the last couple of years, specifically 2 out of the last 3 years, has been Gannon's success with winning the trophy. We've won it 2 out of the past 3 years, didn't win it in 2024, but we haven't been quite honest with you when it pertains to just some of the things that we have on this live stream today. Of course, we wanted to be able to bring Meghan on, but we also wanted to be able to present something else to you as well, because, of course, the athletic year is over, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the athletic excitement is over, Meghan. And, before we talk about what we're going to talk about next, just take us through what the Dixon Trophy has meant for Gannon here.
I think it's just a representation of the hard work our student athletes, our coaches, our administrative team have put in. And for it to be a department-wide recognition, I think really demonstrates that commitment to excellence across all of our programs and how strong and how the program is overall. that to me is what makes it such a great honor and just such an incredible accomplishment.
Well, we're lying to you. We said 2 out of the last 3. How about 3 out of the last 4? Because walking down now live and in person, is Mr. Steve Murray, the commissioner of the PSAC, because, Meghan, it is official. Gannon University is the Dixon Trophy champion in 2024, 2025. What an accomplishment as Dr. Walter Iwanenko hoists the trophy up in the air. This is historic, Meghan. 3 out of the last 4 years. It's hard to believe.
Incredible. So happy for our student athletes and our coaches. Well deserved.
You take just a second to listen to Dr. Iwanenko, who will be taking this trophy with all of the coaches around. And you just take a look at what this has meant to Gannon and has meant to the entire community at large here in Erie. It's really a testament, as you said, Meghan, to all of our coaches, our athletic administration staff. But this is a team effort, right?
Yes.
You can't win this with just having one sport be successful. And Gannon all around the board, as we have seen, and as, of course, you will lead us into next year, has had so much success overall from an entire encompassing athletic department.
Absolutely. And that goes to really speak to the investment of our entire department in each other's success. This truly is a team effort. And I'm just so happy for our coaches and our student athletes to be recognized in such a meaningful way.
Just a wonderful scene that we're seeing here. We're letting everybody take this in. You see our athletic director, Lisa Goddard-McGurk, who, as we said, still have a few weeks left with her, so an opportunity to get to celebrate this together. All of our coaches and all of our staff. There was not a non-Pashy school that had won the Dixon Trophy prior to Gannon in 2022. But now, for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, Gannon University are the Dixon Trophy champions as the top athletic performing team in the PSAC, Meghan. You think about just all of the incredible moments we had, right? We start back to the fall when I wasn't here. You look at women's soccer and their run and their last second goal by Paige Taylor to get to the regional final. You look at men's soccer and the success they had. Of course, football winning a couple big games down the stretch. Men's golf winning their first PSAC team championship. Then you move to the winter, both basketball teams making it into the region and women's basketball back to the Elite Eight. And then you look at the spring with women's golf and their PSAC championship, women's wrestling, competitive cheer and dance, acrobatics and tumbling. The list goes on and on. It was a year full of incredible moments, and really great to see now finally this toast being presented and the hard work really paying off.
Absolutely. It's just hard to put into words. There's so many great moments, as you said, to recognize. And again, I'm just beyond thrilled for our student athletes and our coaches. They've really put in the work to make this happen. And I know everyone was disappointed last year, but feels great to have the Dixon Trophy back home where it belongs.
Well, there you go. It is back home. And finally now we have a chance to reveal the secret that we've been telling you all about. So we appreciate all of you being with us in our conversation with Meghan and revealing the news that for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, the Gannon Golden Knights are the Dixon Trophy champions in 2025. We will see you later tonight for the United podcast, which will celebrate the Dixon Trophy more with live guests and people along the way. That's coming up at 6 o'clock. We'll see you all then, everybody. Take care.